Yo, all right. I'm not sure if any it says to people, but I'm I don't know. This is the first time I've ever gone live. I don't know if I could share my screen, but I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna start walking through my pre-market process. I could see the chat, so if you have any questions, just ask a question. I'm gonna just go through my process. I'll kind of like walk you through it, talk you through it. Um, but I'll first start. For those of you who do not know, I use TradingView. So I start with trading, and I go to this screener, and I got some basic. Man, my search is pretty basic. I'm looking for. Let's see here. I'm going to tell you what I filter. Okay, so my filter is pretty simple. I have the last. I want the last price to be under $15. I don't know if I'm moving a little slower because I'm live, but it's all good. I got enough time to be ready. Okay, so the last price is under $15, and then I look for pre-market volume, and pre-market volume has to be at a minimum of 500,000. I generally want something like to be usually I would say 800,000 or more for me to even be interested, like to even want to trade it when the open comes pre-market. But that's just me. I just like to make sure that there's volume and volatility. I'm not looking for something. And once I set those parameters, let's see if anybody got any questions. No questions. Once I set those parameters, um, what I then do, I just wish I could share my screen. I wish you could see what I was doing. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know because this is the first time. But I definitely want to show you. I'd rather you see it. Although I do have a video of me doing the same thing. Sometimes this is cool because people can ask questions in real time. But it's okay. I'm gonna keep working. So once I set my parameters, I go to look at pre-market change percentage, and I sort it by highest to lowest. Okay, so at this point, let me see. There's one, two. Wow, this is not a good morning so far, but it's early. It's early right now. Right now, there's only one stock that I really am interested in, and then there's a second that right now it's early. It's only 5:48, and it's only got 522,000 volume, so it might pick up a little bit. But the first one, FTEK, Fuel Tech, has 2 million. So I know that this is going to be it. I don't know that I'm going to play it, but I at least know that the volume is what I like. So let me go ahead and this might be an early Friday because if this is all I see, I do wait. I'll do some scanning once the market opens if I don't have enough stocks to look at. But we'll see here. No questions so far. Okay, good. How can I tell who's here? Who are these three of you right here? I don't know. It doesn't show. It's all good. Yep. But for anybody who's watching, if you could hear me, go ahead and say something, so I know that that you can hear, that the volume is good, and all of those things. I don't know what this is either. Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice this live thing. One of the people comment on my deal said, "Yeah, you should go live." I was contemplating it yesterday, and so now I'm doing it. Okay, so let's go check out FTech, man. Let me go. So the first thing I do when I get into the chart is I look, TradingView. I have mine set up to where you can see the news on the right hand side. So the first thing I do is I scroll through the news so I can see why is this stock moving. Okay, so let me see what the catalyst is. I'm just going to scroll through research, collaboration, skill supplies agreement. Okay, so this is that. Oh no, I was looking for FTech. I was gonna say this was yesterday. Okay, FTech. Okay, let's see. Why are you moving? Field analysis, game demonstration orders from 2 new industrial. So they got some new industrial orders. I am meeting shareholders to June. Tech. So they had earnings recently. Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I go through and I skim through the news as far back as it'll let me go. Okay, there we go. There goes HG. Good morning, sir. Perfect. Yeah, Louisiana. Hey, it's funny, man. That's where my mom's side of the family is from Louisiana. They actually from New Orleans, exactly to be exact. And then a lot of what's the other? It's another city out there. It's west of New Orleans by about an hour or two. So I don't know why. I think Lake Charles is in Texas. What's the lake where the McNeese State is on? It's over there. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, man, it's good. Friday guy. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's good. Oh yeah. Okay, bad. Lake Charles. Oh, so it is Lake Charles then. Perfect. I thought that was in Texas for some reason. But yeah, okay, so let me keep going, man. It's good to see y'all here. What was I doing? I was looking at F Tech. Okay, so I was saying the reason why I go back and look at the news as far as I can is because every once in a while, you'll find out that they got some kind of weird releasing news. I think I talked about it. If you go to the one where I got hit for like 58% loss which I forget the name of the stock. It was UAVS, and they had some news, and they basically dropped the news at 8 a.m. West Coast, which would be 11 East Coast, right during the market, and it was just some BS news, and everything sold off, and I got caught in that. So now, I go back and look, and when I went back and looked at deeper in the news, I realized that they actually was about to that there was an announcement for that they were going to make an announcement on that particular day. And so, the thing is, anytime an announcement's coming, you want to be out of that thing before the announcement comes, unless you know for a fact the announcement is great news. So that's why I go deeper in the news, because you don't want to get caught in some shit like that. That's not necessary. So that's what I do. So now I'm looking at F Tech. For those of you who want to follow along, if you want to, I don't know if you have TradingView. I use TradingView, but you can go. Basically, it doesn't matter what you use. You just have to have extended hours where you can see everything in full detail. But now I'm looking at F Tech on the 15 minute. I'm going to look at it on three charts: the daily, the 15 minute, and the 5. And basically, I actually start with the 5 because I feel like the 5 is a little more detailed as to what's going on today, right? And then what I'll do is I'll put my horizontal lines in, and I'm looking for three things, right? I'm looking for where the move started. Okay, I always put a line on where the move started. I want to know where this thing started, where the momentum get going. Okay, and I do that. Then I'm looking for like where is there a pivot? Did it move up and then come back down and then launch off of another area? I'm looking for something like that as well. Okay, so then I'll put a line on a pivot, and then the third line that I use is like, where is its biggest volume buying candle? Because you guys got to remember, I only buy. I don't short. I don't do any shorting. I just buy. And so once I figure out those three locations, I put lines there, okay, on a 5 minute candle, and then I go to the 15 minute time frame, and I adjust. So basically, what you found should already be on the chart. It just needs to be a little more fine tuned. So I'll look, right now I'm looking at F Tech. Yeah, for those of you who are on TradingView, uh, I got a line at the base of the 4 a.m. candle, and then I have also a line at the low of the 415 candle. Those are the two key candles. There's another candle here at 515 that, just for the sake of how high the stock is right now, I'm going to put a line at, because I don't know that from where it's at. Like, let's say this stock opens in the 105 area, it ain't dropping all the way down to 69 unless there's horrible news or they announce a sell-off, offering right at the open. So most likely this thing is going to come back to the 89 area if it stays strong to the open. Now, if it starts fading right when we get into closer to the open, then I already know that this is going to be a weak uh, deal, and then I'll look for the lower areas to buy. The lower lines that I've already got drawn to buy. Okay, so that's kind of like how I do it. So good morning, Roland. Good, good, good. Let me see if there's any questions. Let's get the likes. Volume. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. We can smash the likes. That's good. Colorado. Okay, Colorado. That's good. Thumbs up buttons. Okay, cool. All right, appreciate that, guys. Okay, so and if you guys got a question, I'm gonna keep checking back. Shoot a question, man. It's all good. We got enough time. I'm gonna do this right up until the open, um, and then I'm gonna dip out and focus on the trading aspect, and then I'll probably come back just for the sake of recapping before, because I'm leaving playing golf today, so I'm done by 9 no matter what. I'm the fuck up out of here. So, uh, but yeah. All right, so let me see if there's something new. Now, once I look at one stock and I break it down, I always refresh my scanner because literally every 5 to 15 minutes something new is popping up. So here's what's changed in that. ZOM has now popped up on the screen and it's 22%. Oh, this is something also that's important. I want a minimum. I told you my minimum volume criteria. You got to have at least 500. This early in the market, when we get closer to the open, you should be, if you're not already over 1 million, you should be very close to 1 million in volume. That lets me know that it's serious. Like, like if this PTSI has 544,000 volume, if this don't change by 6:30, it's probably not, it's going to take way more volume at the open to make me really stay interested. So that's one thing I'm looking for. The second thing is I want you to be up a minimum of 20%, 20% or more. That's my basic barometer, because anything less than that is just really not moving. I want the bigger it's up, the better. Because what you're looking for, at least I can say what I'm looking for, is volume and volatility. Volume and volatility means price action and movement. And if you recognize that, there's key areas that you can jump, at least for me, that I can jump in and jump out. I'm not holding. I don't fall in love with any of these stocks. I have different buy and holds. That's a whole nother portfolio. But I've had those for years. And it's just kind of, you just holding those until I'm going to give those to my kids. That's all that's going to be for. But for the most part, man, I don't fall in love with these because, let's look at FTech. It's up 123%. So let's go look at the chart real quick. I forgot to look at the daily. So let me do that real quick. So here I go. I'm going to go to the daily. All right. And the daily, this ain't the best looking stock. Let me scroll back so I could get as far. I usually like to look 2 years back just so I could see where so this is a former runner. It's got some good news that this thing has run. This has run ability. There was a week where this thing ran from 135 to $3. So that, that's good. It tells me it can run. It is breaking at this point. The resistance, at least on the daily, it's over the 200 MA. The 200 MA at this point will be support if it comes back down to it. So you can definitely buy it there. And it's at that range where it's breaking out of that one. If it can get over 110, the next natural resistance will be 144. So now I have an idea of where it can run to, where all the bag holders are. And for those of you who've never heard that term, bag holder is a term for individuals who bought this thing and it tanked and they held on instead of sold, and they just can't wait for price to even get anywhere near close to what it used to be so they can just sell off. Because that's why you see sometimes you'll see a stock that has great news and it's up, and then all of a sudden it can't get past a certain price point. It just keeps getting beat down every time. And that's because you got bag holders who've been holding on, couldn't wait for this price to get high so they can get out, but it's not as big as a loss. Let me see. I have a question. Not too well versed reading the charts at all. I think it's going okay download it, but I want to learn how to read daily charts. Except, I have a class that's already on my channel. If you go to my playlist, and I'm talking to Friday Guy, if you go to my playlist, I have a playlist. Shit, let me just open up a new window so that way I can be exact. Tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me go tell you this playlist. I don't know if it'll allow me to drop this link into it, but if it does, I will. My channel. And I probably got, the only reason I'm talking so low is because my kids are still asleep. And the wife is sleeping. The longer I can keep them in the bed, the better. If I wake their ass up, boy, I tell you what, they be in here whew, causing problems. But it's good. Okay. All right, let me see. I'm just running through here trying to find go to my channel, go to my playlist. Playlist. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's called the Penny Stocks Basic Class. And I'm still developing this. I got about 5 more classes that I'm gonna do. These are all my classes, everything is free. Um, I paid, some of you understand this, I paid thousands of dollars in education. And I don't always felt like I walked out with what I needed. What I will charge people for is, like, let's say like people want my time to trade them, to mentor. That's different, because at least you're getting personal time. But man, there's education out there. I don't want you to do this. I just wanted to see the list. That's not what I wanted. One second. Oh man. Okay, but if you go to, let me just let this, oh, beautiful playlist. There we go. There it is. Okay. If you go look at that series, Penny Stock Basics, let me close this. Penny Stock Basics, and you go to volume 2, episode 2 and 3. One is it literally deals with the charts, just the basics of a chart, and then the second one deals with how to. I am not there yet. I really was just, you know, a lot of this, man, I'm really just doing just because it's my way of giving back. I just think that like I said, man, people overcomplicate it and make it very expensive, and they price a lot of people out. Like, for example, I love Tim Sykes, don't get me wrong, but I paid like 6 G's to go through Tim Sykes's classes on penny stocks, and I haven't talked to Tim Sykes once. And it's not that I couldn't. I can send him email. I'm sure he'll respond. But I would imagine that if you spend 6 G's, that you want to talk to the people. You want to talk to the head honcho, the guy that's going, that supposedly is the guy who's the guy. So it's one of those things that, to me, I just want to be accessible and just show a lot of people that you can actually do this, man. You just gotta sit tight, and you gotta become diligent and know your system. Let me see this next question. Is it smarter to trade with money, with more money or less? I was trading with 1,000. I switched to 2,500. If I'm capable of, it moved. Okay, there it goes. If I'm capable of trading 5, pay attention. Man, who asked that question? Roland. That is a pure comfort question. It's all about what you're comfortable with, because it's cool. You can trade with bigger money. You can make more money, but you can also lose more money, because you're gonna take some losing trades. That's, ain't nobody batting 1,000. Yeah, you're gonna take losing trades. So it all depends on your comfort level, and then in addition to that, it all depends on if you are in or out of pattern day trading rule. And what I mean by that is, if you have more than 25K in your account, then you don't fall in. You can trade like crazy, in and out all day. But if you don't, then it takes 2 days for your funds to settle each time you trade. So let's say you only have 10K, right, in your account, and you trade all 10K today. You wouldn't be able to trade again until Tuesday, because the funds have to clear on that particular transaction. So, like with my small account, I have a small account challenge, and I just put it on hold. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a small account. I'm debating to do it either with 2,500 or 5,000. To me, the most ideal small account starts with 10, because you can break that up. So let me tell you what I would do if I had a small account. Let's say if I had a 5,000 small account, I would just basically divide 5,000 by 4. Okay. Whatever that number is, which should probably be 1,200 or something like that, 1,250, $1,250. I would then be able, what that would allow me to do is, let's say Monday, I get 2 trades at $1,250. Okay. So that way I don't have one trade, I have 2 in case one doesn't go right, or whatever. So when I take those 2 trades on Monday at 1,250, whatever I earned or lost, the funds will be clear by Wednesday. So I can trade that 1,250 again on Wednesday, right? Those two 1,250s. And then on Tuesday, I have the other half of that basically 2,500 that I did not use, and it'll allow me the opportunity, of course, to trade every day, depending on your broker. Some brokers have it, but E-Trade will allow you to do that every day. And so that's, you have to consider all those things. So it all depends on you and comfort level. Because you got to have a comfort level of what you might lose, and understand that this is a possibility. It really is. So that's how I would answer that question. Should I have a small account? Do I build well? I figure I can build a small account. Success in trading and not necessarily risk, but account. Yeah, that's dead on. Actually, there's never ever a reason to blow out your account. It's just, you can only blow out your account by over trading and not knowing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to take losses, so don't take a loss too brutal. It's the type of loss that you're taking and how consistent you're taking that loss is what it all boils down to. Okay, good. So Friday guy, fine. And see volume 2, but okay, yeah, double check that, because I just looked at the first 3 volumes are up. And if it's not listed, maybe it might not be listed. I'll make sure that I double check when I'm done too. This morning to get access to YouTube stock trading. Google. Yeah, man. A lot of these guys, man, they charge a lot of money, man. I just don't think, and for me, it's not for me. I'm gonna look at the charts while I'm talking. It's not for me to decide what the value of their time is. It's not. If they feel like they work $400 an hour or whatever it is they're charging, that's cool. I just do this, and as I grow, I'm gonna move it. Yeah, see, this it's not much moving this morning. Goodness, this is gonna be a scan kind of a day. Well, I hate to have gone live on a Friday when there's nothing out. Okay, but I do. I will move into some financial conversation at some point. But even then, I don't want it to be so pricey, because what I've learned is a lot of people get priced out of this game, and they think that you got to have buku dollars to be able to do this. But the reality is you don't. You just got to know what you're doing and have access to somebody who can actually, teach you, for those who will be starting new, or for those who have a system, they just might have some issues with discipline, who can get you on the right track. And it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg, man. It should not. It's amazing what some of these guys charge. And then you start wondering, man, are you really a good trader? Because of what I'm paying, and what, I feel like some of these guys is making their money off charging people for the perception that they're a good trader. But that's just my personal opinion. I just like to be 100% transparent and authentic with mine. And I'm already a college professor, which I'm a teacher and a helper by trade. So, why wouldn't I teach this skill to people who can, man, literally it's life changing. What you can do with this is life changing, changes your whole economic scope, man. Man, there is nothing fun, man. This is crazy. I might be on the golf course sooner than I think. Okay, so let's go back to FTEK. I'm gonna go back now to the 15 minutes. So once I, where my lines are, what I then do is I have a PowerPoint that it's off of on Google Slides. So again, I try to find all the free stuff, Google Slides, and I write my game plan. So I'll put the stock's name in the game plan, and I'll look at it. I'll tell myself, why is this moving? Okay, here are the locations that I'm willing to buy it. Here's what I usually refer to as the first. Like, here's the first area that I'm willing to buy. Here's the second area. I usually put 2 areas in, and then I move on to the next one and I break it down. And so that's kind of pretty much my standard, and then I just stick to that. Like, so if my game plan for FTech right now is, it's moving on, the price has dropped dramatically. It's moving on a potential agreement with, what was the agreement? Let's see. Yeah, it says it has demonstration orders from 2 new industrial power customers. Okay. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know who the hell these 2 new power customers are. Like, that shit sounds good. A lot of this stuff, and this is the other reason people wonder why I don't hold stuff for long. It's penny stocks, man. Penny stocks is the Wild West. They be pumping and dumping stocks all day. If you saw XRF the other day, complete pump and dump. Like, you'll know when it's real legitimate news and stock, because that thing will go up and it ain't coming back. it ain't coming back within that day. Sometimes it ain't ever coming back. But just penny stocks, man. So you have to understand the volatility of them, and you have to be able to get in and get out. And the reason why I do penny stocks, another reason, now don't get me wrong, I do options and I got some buy and holds, as I stated. But the reason for that is that I love penny stocks in regards to day trading is because you don't have to have a lot of capital to get in, man. You don't have to be buku rich. You can start, you just got to know what you're doing, and you can build a small account, man. It's amazing what can happen. Okay, so let me go back over here to the chat. Good, it's been $400. Gotcha. Good. Exactly. I don't like that. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, what's up, Skins? What's going on, man? I'm breaking down my pre-market process on how I prepare for the market, whatnot. So seeing your live the other day actually inspired me to go live, and I threw it out there to my subscriber group, and so they was like, do it. So so this is what I'm doing. So I'm doing it now myself, man. It's good to see you, brother. Marvin, do you find it Fridays? Okay, the question is, Marvin, do you find that on Fridays people do more sell-offs on stocks than any other day of the week? I find Monday stocks decline in Monday. Well, here's what I can tell you, Friday guy. I find that when it's booming, it's booming. It don't matter the day. Usually Friday is a really good day because people like to end that weekend. They want to win that weekend on a high. They want to go into the weekend happy than a mug. And so usually what happens, usually the best news comes out on Friday and usually Monday. Usually there's a good earnings runner or some kind of nice, financial agreement or some type of usually it's really good news on a Friday. And I one thing I definitely don't do when I used to short is I would never short on Fridays because unless the market tanks, man, people love to go into their weekend feeling pretty doggone good about what they traded. And so usually there's a lot of good action. This is the slowest Friday I've probably seen in the year of 2020. Like so far, starting from January, I've never seen a Friday where there was literally only one. Let me refresh. There was literally only one stock. Okay, now we got two. Okay, so now let me go break down ZOM. We got two stocks that at least meet the basic criteria. This is an anomaly. So let's see, man. Let me go check out ZOM, and it's gonna be the same process. I'm gonna Skins, man. I'm gonna have to get at you and ask you a question because you go live a lot. I don't know about having the ability to share my screen. If you got any intel on that, man, drop it in the comment box. I don't know if I can share my screen or not because I want them to actually see what I'm doing, and not just be looking at me. But it is what it is. If that's how live works, that's how live works. It's the first time I've done it. So let me go back to the stock. Okay, so now we're looking at ZOM. So for those of you who might want to follow along, you can see what I'm seeing. So I'm going to break this down. I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart first and start there. Okay. I go from small to big for the most part. So here we go. Let's look at the news, man. Let me scan through the news. Peace mover, two-star. See, this is interesting. There we go. Finally something legit. ZOM completes verification of its true formal point of care diagnosis platform on Friday. Okay, so I don't know what the hell that means. They ain't telling me nothing. ZOM provides corporate update. Okay, so this is kind of fluff. So I would call this, I'm gonna keep scanning through it. Okay. Okay, they had a public offering not too far on April 7th. Okay. Yeah, this is fluff news. There's not much going on here. So this one does not excite me at all, but I'm gonna still just mark up the chart so I'm ready. Let's see here. Yeah, there's not much here. This is all fluff. And usually when it's fluff news, you can tell because the chart will reflect it. Okay, but right now it's got a spot. It's got a buy area at 29.5. Now let me go to the 15 and see what this looks like. Yeah, that buy area hold. So if I was inclined to play this stock, it all depends on where it's at the open. let's say at the open it's bouncing up a little bit, and it's up in the 34 area. I would then be willing, if this thing fell down to 29.5, to buy it. But let's say closer to the open, it's at like 30. I'm not buying that because it's too close. Generally speaking, I want something to fall 10% or more to my price point that I want to get in at. I want a little bit of panic to happen. And usually it's not necessarily this true blue panic. What's really going on is, let's say you own this stock and you bought it yesterday. Let's say you got in at 20 cents, a week ago, and the stock is up to 38 cents. Well, the first thing you're going to do in the morning is you're going to take profits. So when you see these stocks that are up, it's not that they're panicking and selling off. It's that the profit takers are taking profits, which means that they got to sell, which means the stock goes down. And then once the profit takers are comfortable with what they've gotten, then, it goes to key buy areas. And that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to buy, generally speaking, I'm looking to buy the biggest pre-market candle. Okay. And if none of that pans out come the first 30 minutes, then I start scanning and I start looking for what's moving. I only want to look at the stocks that's moving. That's why in pre-market I require volume, because I want it to be moving, man. I ain't got time for something that ain't moving. Um, um, I appreciate that, Skin. I appreciate that, Skin. I ain't got time for anything that ain't moving. So pre-market, I'm looking for something that's moving. If I don't have anything that fits my criteria, I wait to the open. I wait usually 15 to 30 minutes and I start scanning. And all I want to look at is the move. What's moving? Where is the volatility, right? What's up big? And then I go and do the same process, but I do it with the open. So I go from their open candle, and I want to know where I go into the 5-minute time frame. Where's the biggest candle? Where's the biggest volume? Where did people come in and buy this stock at? Wherever they did that, that's where I'm willing to buy again. So then I just wait for price to come back, test that number, and I'll buy it there. And usually by that point of the market, I'm only looking for 5% win anyway, because, the biggest wins happen within the first 30 minutes. And then there's always, every once in a while, there's that stock that rages all day. Like WTR did pretty good yesterday. It pretty much ran for the whole day. So if you would have got in, I think I got in at 201. At one point, that thing was up to 260, and I think it closed at like 234. That's good. That's good. Sometimes that doesn't happen. On average, most of these run up and they come right on down. And on that downward slide is when you can catch small green candles of 5 to anywhere between 5 to 20%. I've seen even bigger than that. Say, Marvin, do you find that? Oh yeah, we answered that question. So yeah, man. So that's pretty much that's the process for me. So I only got 2 stocks pre-market, man. This is a weak Friday. Let me scan again. Let me refresh my scanner. Okay. All right. Nope. No new shooter. FBIO. It does have volume. I like that. But yeah. Looking like it's F Tech or bust. It's not much out there. Yeah. And here's the other thing. Never force a play. You don't have to trade today, man. The market will be back on Monday. Never force a play. Just because you hear, just because it's like somebody first get money in their pocket, they just gotta go buy something. You ain't got to go buy nothing, man. Just chill. Okay. Waiter, normally do not run up like yeah, no. That interesting. The WTRH, when I was in Mexico, which was in March, that's actually when I first started building my channel. When I went on vacation to Mexico, right when this coronavirus, I actually was running from the virus. I went to Mexico because I got a lot of family down there. And so I was just going to kick it with them. And we did my daughter's birthday. And that's when I first started to really build a channel. And as I said, when the decision was made in WTRH, I traded it down there and it went bonkers. Oh my God, it was one of them wild days. It was WTRH and APRN, Blue Apron. It was 2 food stock company. Man, them jokers ran. But you're right. They normally don't, it doesn't always go like that. Let's see. Well, I know where I want my prices to be. Oh, I was going to look at FBIL just to see if it has anything. Yeah. See, if you look at ZOM now, for those of you who have pre-market access, now ZOM is it's dropped down to 30. It's already dropped out of my 20% pre-market gains. It's just weak. Excuse me. It's just weak. It's weak morning is all there is to it. Let me see about FTech. Where you at? Oh, no, FTech is strong. Okay, good. So this is the best. This is the best play. This is the only play. So I'm most likely gonna figure out where I'm gonna buy this. Right now, the first location to buy is at 88, but it's at 111. It's pretty strong. It's moving well. Let me check the 5 minute. Every once in a while, you have to decide on if you're gonna come up or not. Like I might test this at $1. Like if this thing pulls back to $1, I would be willing to do this. And this would be off of more just experience of knowing whole and half numbers. Like it's interesting for those who have been trading for a while, you'll see a stock, it gets to run in just like the dollar and the half dollar, $1.50. What it doesn't even matter. It can be $6, $6.50. Those areas always are strong. But if you look at this FTech on a 5 minute, it's got VWAP sitting right there at the dollar. It's got the 20 MA on the 5 minute sitting right there at the dollar range. So it's got like a lot of little things that make it, it's got some strong support there. On the 15, it's only got VWAP in the 8 MA, but yeah, so really I can either test this early, and this still has time. I don't know. I have to wait and see where it opens at. Let's say this thing opens at 105. I would not test the dollar at that point. I want it to be up at 115 or 120 and fall to the dollar range and bounce from there. That's a 10% drop. So really actually a 15% or 20% drop depending on the price. I want that, and then it bounces from there. If it's at 105, then I'll just hold and wait for I'll probably put an order in at 89.5 or 90, something like that, and just kind of roll with it, see what it does. But really, this is the only thing worth watching. So I'll wait or start in late trial school. I didn't know that. Let's start. Oh, I was looking for a second. I was looking at ZOM, but it's weak, and right now I'm looking back at FTEK. So pretty much the only thing that I'm going to be locked in on is FTEK. So as we get closer, what I begin to do is let's say if there was like 5 stocks on our watch list this morning, what I would do as we get closer, what I do as we get closer is I look at I want to know which catalyst is the best, like whichever one I feel like this is a legit catalyst, like the news here is legit. Okay. I'm going to now focus on like the top 2 or 3. And what I usually do is I put in 3 orders if there is 3 legitimate orders. So I put my orders in pre-market because I already know where I want to buy it. And so I put my orders in. I usually put my orders in. I start putting them in at 628. Usually by 628, I put my orders in and I do my calculations. So I open a Word file and I literally, I know what my entry is. I write what the 10% target is, that price point, and what the 5% target price point is. So now I'm good. So soon as literally if I get activated in FTech, soon as I get the order executed, I'm going to immediately then go in and I'm going to put my limit order for my exit of what price I want. This is why I usually get the numbers that I get, because I'm not holding and waiting. I'm not hoping maybe it'll go to 2. No, I don't care. It can go anywhere it wants to go, as long as it hit the number I was looking for, and then I'm out of there. So I'll immediately put in my limit order of where I want to get out, and I will give it 15 minutes. So in that 15-minute time frame, usually it already goes back, especially early. I'm already done. Like yesterday, I was done like 45 minutes into the market. I love early days. This looks like today's gonna be an early day. Once it does that, it's all good. Man, this thing is moving. See, now it's up to 118. I like it. I like the strength. See, this makes that dollar area really, though. I think they're gonna want to buy it at 104, but we'll see, because that's becoming the strongest candle. This has the biggest volume for sure, pre-market. But yeah, put my order in immediately, and then I put my if I'll give it 15 minutes. If it hasn't done it by 15 minutes, I usually just kind of get out because I'm not looking to stay in these long because you just never know when the sell off is in. I'm just that's just me. No one has to do exactly what I do. You got to work to your own sense of sensibilities. I think the hardest thing over all the years of education that I went through is I had to find myself as a trader. And I always tell people, you got to find yourself. You got to do what works for you on every aspect. You have to have it all figured out, um, whether it be your exit strategy, your interest. You have to have all that. And you got to be comfortable with it, man. You can't do anything other than that. So if you put in the limit order of selling at your desired price, $2, and you sell. And the day you find out that the stock hit $8, nope, it does not. Friday guy does not because my plan was to get in and get 10%. That was my plan, and I work my plan. Now, every once in a while, there'll be one where I say, if you would have saw WTRH in March, and April in March, there's every once in a while, I call it the perfect play, where the news is perfect, the environment of what's going on in world politics is perfect, and the volume and everything was there. Okay, so Apron and Waiter, they deliver food, right? Well, when people start going crazy with this coronavirus and they couldn't go outside, they still needed to get food. And these people were feeling a need, that was tremendous. And so I knew, I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect catalyst. When I see the perfect catalyst, I will hold. I will hold for the day because I know that this is not a 1 day runner. This is a 2 to 3 day runner. Even then, and I think HG can speak to it. Even then, for however big, matter of fact, I don't have enough time because I'm about to get off and get ready for the market. For however big um, WTRH and Apron went up that day, it still sold off like a week or two later. That's why I don't really trip. I don't really worry about it. And when you look at it like I see it, my strategies allow me to pull anywhere between 5 to 30% off the market every day. So I'll just let me see some MYOS. So, or is it MYO? My strategy allows me to do that. So I'm not really worried about it because I know tomorrow I'll get some more. You know what I mean? Tomorrow will be another day, but tomorrow is Monday. I'll have another opportunity, and I'll just keep slowly but surely. Yeah, MYO. Okay, it doesn't have. Let me see what's the volume. 700, still kind of light on volume at this point to be 2 minutes into the open. Let me just check the chart real quick, and I'm gonna get back. Yeah, now that pre-market chart is pretty weak. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not interested in this one. But it might have some kind of news that the insiders know about. But look, this thing gapped up and it just sold off, and it's going to sell all the way back off to yesterday's price point, unless it bounces. At the open, it might have a little bit of a bounce, but it's not. It doesn't have enough to hold my attention. Okay, so now it's decision time on this FTech. I got to put an order in, so let me do that. Let's close everything up. E-Trade. Yeah, here's the open. That's what I thought it would do. Just shot up right out of the open. So I guess I ain't got to chase. All right. Okay. So for those of you that are live with me, you made it. Last question: do you still hold? I'm not. I'm not holding it at all. I already sold it. WTRH. This is for Friday, guy. Let me go back to the chart. I already sold it. And I wish WTRH the best of luck today. That it's worth buying today. With the volume, everything has to match, right? Then I'll buy it again. But I strictly day trade penny stocks. I don't buy and hold those. My buy and holds are more of the established old, Starbucks, Targets, and they ain't them stocks ain't going nowhere, and they'll forever make money. And I can pass all of that stuff. All my buy and hold stuff is for the kids. Yeah, now swing trading around earnings, those are all strategies. Um, and there's a ton of different ways to do it. And that's kind of the point that I'm making. I stick to what 100% works with me, period. I can't worry about what works for somebody else. Or, you can't, you got to be your own trader. You got to be your own man or woman when it comes to this. And you have to be comfortable with everything that you're doing, we got a halt. So F Tech is going to be crazy. So here's what's interesting. When stocks halt, excuse me, when they halt, um, you know, I always get cautious because if they can halt going up, they can damn sure halt going down. And that's how I got caught in that UAVS. I got in and it halted and it gapped all the way down, intraday gap. Oh my God, I got in at what? I can't even remember, but it gapped down to 150. I remember that part. I remember where it reopened. You talk about taking it for the team. Yeah, that one hurt, but it's all good. It's just part of it. Let's see, man. There's nothing out there. Yeah, I ain't gonna be enticed to do nothing crazy. So this is gonna be a scan kind of day. I'm gonna have to wait and scan. We appreciate you doing this. Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Yeah, I'm gonna probably um yeah. I was just saying that HG it's halted. It's halted right now. It did run to 135 though, so we'll see. This one's gonna be a wild one. It'll be fun to watch, and if it sets up, I'll trade it. If it doesn't, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'd rather be on the golf course happy today. Hey, the golf course gives us enough problems, so I don't need to uh, be out there mad over my trading. So I'll have to wait to see if anything sets up. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys coming through. We might start doing this on Fridays. I don't mind doing this on Fridays because I usually don't like to do a trade recap. On Fridays, we call it Fun Friday with the family. So we do movie night and eat pizza and all of that kind of stuff. And so my day is pretty much consumed on a Friday when it comes to trying to get a video out. So we might go live every Friday, man, and that'll be our new thing. But hey, man, I really appreciate everybody that came through, man. I'm gonna hit the end stream and I'm gonna focus up. And if anything is interesting, I might pop back on just to let you know. So just keep your eyes open. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Appreciate it.